Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for joining us today. So I thought I would film our completed pages for the year of 2025 so far. The last video that I filmed about coloring was my 2024 pages, and so I thought I would do a half year update of what we've colored so far. Not too many, so hopefully this video won't be super long, but I did want to go through some of the pages because some of the books are either new to me or I experimented a lot this year with a bunch of different mediums, so some I'm really proud of and some are not so great, but again, it's just about experimenting. The first book that I spent quite a bit of time in is the Jasmine Beckett Griffith coloring book. This has been out for a while. I never really got into it. I couldn't quite figure out what medium to use for this book, but recently really got into alcohol markers, so kind of found my passion for this book a little bit. So I thought I would share those pages. I also reference, when I color anything by Jasmine, I reference her beautiful art books. So I thought maybe I'd share what pictures I looked at for each of the things that I colored. So the first page is this one. It's called The World. Again, used a lot of alcohol markers for her hair and her skin, and then used watercolor for the sea. And this is Neocolor 2's watercolor for her skirt. Again, alcohol markers for her globe. But again, I really do reference her books. So the first book to reference is Forever Strange, beautiful art book. Has all of her drawings in here that are in her color book. I think they're all in her two books. But this is the one that I referenced. So hopefully you can see that. So this is the world, the official world picture. And you can see how I reference that here. Apologize for if you can hear that saw. There's some construction going on outside. But so that's that one. The next page is Pipistrello. So this was fun. Again, used alcohol markers, and these are Museum Aquarelle watercolor pencils for the wings, and I also use those for the background and for the foreground. So that one turned out really well. I love the colors for that. And then this is Jasmine's version, again, in Forever Strange, her beautiful art book. So this was the inspiration, obviously. Tried to match the color. I mean, obviously the tones are very different, but tried to match the different colors that she used for this. So love that page. Next is the Princess of Bones. So the Princess of Bones, let's see, should be in Forever Strange as well. Again, lots of alcohol markers for this. I think this is exclusively alcohol markers, maybe some Neocolor 2's for the background. This is her version of this one, Princess of Bones. So you can see, again, not exact for the coloring. I made her hair purple, but again, just used it for inspiration because obviously these pictures are so beautiful, and I just find it so fun. It kind of makes it a little bit of a paint by number a little bit, so it takes some of the stress out just to kind of try to copy what she did. So that's Princess of Bones. And then this one is probably my favorite, and that one actually, it's called The Scavengers. Very monochrome. It's hard to see with the alcohol marker blade through that, but that's Scavenger. That's actually in her, I think, in her Strangeling book. So I'll see if I can find it for the reference. This one was really fun. It's literally all alcohol markers, absolutely nothing else within the book. So really tried to capture that sense of like monochromatic look and feel to that picture. Here's the reference photo. So you can see how Jasmine colored it versus me. Tried to get the same type of tones. Love the kind of fluorescent looking mask that matches her eyes. Tried to capture that. I find feathers and fur really hard with alcohol markers, so that's probably not the best, but did my best there. I don't have it marked, but I think I did. Oh yeah, I did this one. So this is Amara and the book. This is again in Strangeling. The picture is in Strangeling, so let me find that picture. So here's Amara and the book. So kind of a Hawaiian tropical feel to it. All alcohol markers for her and the tikis and the book. And then this is Neocolor 2s in the background and for the grass. And here's the inspiration. That one was pretty. I lost some of my indicators because I did do quite a few pages in this book. This is a whip. This Alice page, I love this page. Again, we'll reference the Strangeling book for that. This was the first one that I did that referenced the picture because I didn't know what to do with the background with all the gears. So again, just took it straight from Jasmine's beautiful art book, and so used a lot of Neocolor 2s for the background and alcohol markers for Alice, but liked how she kind of made it dirty and kind of grungy looking, and then did a lot of Neocolor 2s black for the shading. So like that one a lot. Let's see, is there anything else that I did? Oh, this one. This one was probably not my favorite, only because I kind of messed up her face. And the coloring of her skin is not right. It's way too pink, but this is the reference photo. I do like the background. It's a lot, again, of alcohol markers for her hair, and for the butterflies, and the dress is alcohol markers. So I gave it a try, but her face is not not that great. Kind of messed that up. And then I think that's it. This one, this is Snow White and Alice, is the last one I think that I did. And I think that one is back in Forever Strange. Let's see, I think, yeah, it's right here. So this is the last one that I've done so far. This is the reference photo compared to my page. So again, all alcohol markers with some watercolor for the background. But I did try to do quite a bit of shading with the alcohol markers for this picture, trying to push myself a little bit to try to match what she did with her acrylics. And so I think it came out good. So that's that page. And that's what I did for Jasmine. But again, really fun. If you ever struggle with coloring, I highly recommend these books anyways. They're beautiful. The cover's like puffy. It's so nice. But really fun if you're trying to color and get started with Jasmine. Dark Fairy Tales. Not too much progress or work in this book. Love it, of course. Love Kirby Roseanne's. I think this is probably his best work. It's just gorgeous. This is the page kind of that I officially did. So using some ink tints for his skin and shading with polychromos, acrylic markers for the background and the pillars, and some metallic gel pen for some accents. These are the clouds I did with the new Carnadaci pastels. So that I thought worked out really well. I really like those, but you can hopefully see some of the metallic accent on the page. So this one I really like. This one is okay. Trying a bunch of new medium. I kind of got a little bored with this picture actually, but I really like her. It's pan pastels. I don't know if you can see, it's pan pastels, but then it's a pearlescent pastel over some of areas. I don't know if you can see the shine on some of the areas. And then just use some pastel acrylic markers for the vines and for the fairies over here. But it's a very creepy page to color. And then I do have, let's see, I do have a whip in here. This is my favorite page of the book. I'm going to take my time on it. This is pan pastels for the bears, and then for the kind of moody gray blue background and for the trees. So what I do is I'll do pan pastels for the big elements in Kirby, and then I'll go through and do acrylics and some colored pencil for some of the detailing. I don't ever do a Kirby page all with pencils, and God bless those of you that do. I just don't have the patience or the skill to do Kirby's with all colored pencils. That would take me forever and honestly not turn out very well. Okay, and then Hannah Carlson, you know, of course, a favorite, and I always color in her books. So I worked in 3 books, 3 Hannah Carlsons for the year so far. Jewelry box, I'm kind of doing page by page. And this book, I took a break from backgrounds for this book. So it's just about the elements and using a bunch of different kind of like gel and metallic and stickles and some pearl drops. I just wanted to take a break from backgrounds because backgrounds are exhausting sometimes. The snail is all metallic, dual metallics from Pentel. All of the coloring is using my Kuretake Fubioris. So yeah, love those, so vibrant. This page is really pretty. And then hopefully you can see some of the gold metallic accent. This page I really like. I did kind of that gingerbread look of the house using, it's a black matte marker, and then again using those same Kuretake markers for the other elements and some pearls in the flowers. And then there's metallic accents throughout the house, throughout the mansion. And yes, I know it would look really pretty with a background. I might go back to these pages and add a background. I just, at the time, I was like, I need a break from backgrounds. So this page, again, really like, this has a ton of sparkle and different elements in it. Hopefully you can see that in the camera. A lot of different texture. This has, I don't know if that's coming through, but lots of, it's very raised. With the metallic and the stickles. And then I always try to do glossy accents for the eyes so they're nice and smooth. The face is with pan pastels. The hair is, again, those same Kuretake markers. And then this has a lot of sparkle as well. Lots of texture, lots of things that are raised. Silver outline on the feathers. This one, a lot of shine on this one. Hopefully you can see that. The crown is metallic. Outlined all of those flowers with metallic. I think with metallic, the dual metallic Pentel pencils, and then some metallic silver for the spider web. I like this page a lot. I like the pink and the gold and the blue. Just kind of a basic page using a lot of gold metallic for this one. And then the little puppy, this is pan pastel. So not good at fur, not good at feathers. So I always use pan pastel for all of that. This is another sparkly page. Lots of glitter, lots of stickles used throughout on the water. Again, pan pastels for the cat. And the Kuretake markers, and then lots of little gold drops. This has glossy accent over the entire gem. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but it's really raised and it's all shiny. Feels like plastic. And then this one, again, would probably be very pretty with a background. I just went all in on red and blue and have the little hummingbirds there and the white dots. And again, it's very raised and lots of different elements, lots of gold metallic. This one, I really like the bug. So the bug, this is, again, big glossy accent. The bug is all metallic. I really liked her. The face is pan pastel, Kuretake markers, but then I messed up on the ground. I was trying something new and it just didn't work. And there's nothing really I can do. I just kind of had to leave it. But so, and I don't know about y'all, but sometimes when that happens, when I really mess up a page, then I kind of lose my interest in the book. I wish that wasn't the case, but I started on the bugs and just slowly that kind of was, this page was kind of the last straw. I was doing so good. I was kind of hitting every single page. And then once that happened, I was like, oh, I need to put this book away. So that's what I did in Jewelry Box. Summer Nights. Let's see. First I did these 2 pages that I really like. This one, I don't know if you can see, this one has dragon glaze all over it. Probably can't see that, but it has like a blue shift to it, to the purple. So it's all purple acrylic marker and then dragon glaze on top. And then this is all textured. So it's metallic gel pens, again, some more of those white dots, and some Pentel dual hybrid. And then I lined over the stars with gold metallic pen. And then this one is black acrylic background with fluorescent kind of pan pastel. I think it's Hannah yellow in this area. And then this is all different type of, again, that dragon glaze. If you can see, it kind of has a blue shift to it on the watch. And then all my Kiritaki for the coloring. This is probably one of my favorite pages for the year so far. I think this turned out really well. So these are Museum Aquarelle for the background. Again, my favorite watercolor pencils. And then Kiritaki for the blue flowers. And then the grasshopper is all gel metallic. So all different colors of gel metallic pen. So he really is very shiny. I like him. But I love the color palette, just greens and blues. And then this one is my double page spread that I did this year in this book. So this started out, you can probably tell, this started out as a watercolor background on this side of the page. And just, it wasn't turning out well. So of course I covered it up with black acrylic, always the savior. But I love the bright Kiritaki pen flowers. Lots of gel pen, lots of metallics. The wings are all iridescent. I don't know if you can see that. Stickles here, along here. And then I love the bugs. The bugs are all iridescent as well. So happy with that page eventually with this double page spread, but at the time it was gonna look very different. So that's Summer Nights. This is my travel book. So this is the book I take with me everywhere I go. So this year, I think I only actually took it on one trip so far when we went to Seattle, and I did 3 pages. So again, I'm trying to finish this page. I did this crown while we were in Seattle. So the birds were very sparkly, and then lots of white dot, raised white dot there. And then the background's actually acrylic, blue acrylic. No background for this page, just simple crown. I also did this page, so perfect for kind of mermaid. I think I'm going to do this side in May, and I am going to add a background to her, but she has a lot going on. So this is again Kiritaki markers, the same ones I always use because they're so vibrant. Stickles for the hair to give it some shine. Her skin is pastels, is Faber-Castell pastel pencils, and then some metallic for the jewelry and for the fish up top. I really like her. I can't wait to do the other side. And then I also did this one, completely different color palette. So this is a very warm color palette, very red. The mask I actually did with the Pentel matte hops. So if you can tell, the mask is, the red is matte back there. And then did the gold. I think these are Korean. This is the Korean glitter gel pen for the gold. It has a very interesting gold color. I think that Korean pen. It's actually a warm gold, so it was perfect for this page. And some stickles for the stars. And then again, this is the Kuretake marker, just blended. Yeah, I really like that page. So I did those 3, working towards finishing that book, almost there. Love this coloring book. I have multiple copies of this book because I experimented in it. I am determined one day I'm going to have this book completely colored in metallic watercolors. So it was just an experiment page. It's not even done. I kind of gave up on it, but I thought I would show you because this is with metallic watercolors. I think all of these paintings, all of these pictures, because they look like paintings, would be beautiful in metallic watercolors. So I'm determined to do an entire book with that. These are the Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolors. So again, was just trying them out. They are beautiful. But I need to practice more. So I have another copy of this book. I have another version of the mermaid. So I learned a lot doing this picture, and I'm going to redo it now based on what I learned doing this one. That's why I kind of stopped, because I was like, oh, okay, now I know what to do for the next time I do it. And I'm going to use this book kind of as my experiment book. So, but I love this, the Colton Folklore coloring book. Very unique. Johanna Pasford. I worked in 2 Johanna Basfords so far this year. The first one, Rooms of Wonder, I only did 1 page. I just finished this one. Again, no background, just working my way through that. I've done this page and now this one. So all my Kuretake markers for that, and just some gold accents. Not too exciting. Worlds of Wonder. This is the book that I'm trying to finish cover to cover. So I think in the other video you've seen what I've done so far. I started these 2 pages. Again, a lot of shine. This is Kuretake markers. I'm kind of a broken record with that. This shark is all metallic gel pen. So hopefully you can see that shine. Lots of glossy accent for the windows on this, which I really like. And then the boat is silver metallic gel pen. Love this page. This is the matte hop pen again for the black. And the cream is Staedtler pigment pens, and then lots of gold accents for the balloons and different things, glossy accents on the lamp. Again, I don't do backgrounds for the most part within this book, so that's another one. Lots of Kuretake marker, gel accent. That one. These 2, so this is opalescent watercolor. Again, it's that same Gansai Tambi watercolor set that I showed you from the other page that I did in the occult book. And then a lot of outlining with metallics. And then this page I really like. This is actually all colored pencil in the back. So these are Luminance Carnadachi coloring pencils for that, with some gel pen. I usually always use the Pentel Dual Metallic gel pen whenever you see gel pen, so it's kind of the same stuff always. Skip that page. This one, I love this, and this is actually black acrylic paint with all metallic gel pen. This is gold watercolor, again, that gold metallic watercolor. If you're seeing this right here, I smeared the gold watercolor and so then tried to go over it with the black acrylic paint, and it kind of left a mark, which is a shame because I really liked the page. This one, colored pencils, these are polychromos, all of that, but the house is in the Kuretake markers. And then just did a border with the bronze metallic. Did a lot in this book so far this year. The teepee, the border is probably the star of the show. The border is all metallics, different colors. And then again, black acrylic paint marker. I outlined everything in gold metallic for this one. A little bit of glossy accent up there. Gold metallic here. And then the last page I did in this book is the flamingos. So again, blue acrylic marker for that. And then the pink flamingos are the Kuretake markers, and then stickles to outline, give it some shine. That's it so far in that, in Worlds of Wonder, but getting through that, almost there. And then so far this year, the star of the show has been Maria Trolle. So I didn't do too much in Maria Trolle last year, but this year I'm really getting into it. So the first one, Botanicum, I only did 2 pages in this one. So her illustrations I just find so helpful after a long day of work. They help with stress. I don't know why. They're simple, but not that simple. But for some reason, I find them very relaxing. So this one I did just with my Kuretake markers and some stickles. So nothing too fancy there. And then again, this one is stickles, but this one is all acrylic markers. So everything is acrylic, and then just put stickles on for shine, which I like to do a lot because I like to use acrylic markers because they're so easy and opaque. The Tule Art acrylic markers are my favorite. So most of the acrylic markers that you see are Tule Art. The brush markers, which they don't get a lot of love on YouTube, but I love the brush version of Tule Art. So yeah, and then just some metallic for the border and for the clothesline. So that's what I did in Botanicum. But again, the star of the year so far is the Maria Trolle Universe book. So much, I just kind of got a little bit obsessed with this book. So started with this page, but you can see the shine. So this is just a really pretty spring page. I did acrylic markers for the background, again, stickles, and my Kuretake pens. So really easy. And then again, those white dots and a little bit of stickles for the wings on the bee. I like the color palette for this one. This was the first page actually that I did in this book. So very pretty. The water is actually ink tints. That's why it's so vibrant. Black acrylic marker for the background, Kuretake for the tree. Moon's a bit of a fail. I gotta figure out how to do a moon better. But yeah, that's that page. I really like it. And then silver metallic gel pen for the border. This one, again, black acrylic marker, stickles, lots of shine here, lots of stars. Put her sitting on the branch at night in the jungle. So again, a little bit of stickle here, and to make the green leaves shine a little bit, but all Kuretake markers. Sometimes when I have extra ink tints or extra watercolor, I just go through the book to use up the ink because I don't want to waste it, so you might see some of that. This was the first page that I did in May for Mermay, so love this. This is all acrylic markers, the Tule Art acrylics, just in the blue set, so the different color blue, and then some dual metallic for the tail. I actually kind of messed up her face a little bit. I used a different black marker and it smeared, and so I had to go over her skin tone and her face with acrylic. I don't usually like to do acrylic for skin, so that's a little bit different for me. This spread, again, black acrylic marker. I think these flowers, these lilies, stargazer lilies, turned out really pretty. I referenced a photo for these, again, Kuretake markers, and then some gold pearl dots. And then again, stickles on the wings. Usually for the skin tone in this book, I use the Staedtler pen in light peach. And then I just do some shading. Very easy. And this is black acrylic background, Kuretake markers, stickles, and the metallic. Sometimes it's just nice to use the same thing over and over. Tule Art acrylic pen for the background, lots of stickles to add shine. I love how orange. This is a very orange cat. That's Kiritaki markers, just with some different shading, different colors for the shading. This double page spread I thought turned out really pretty. If you can tell, the unicorn is actually all covered in stickles. So I just spread it out with a brush. And then the background for this is actually the museum aquarels. So, and then kind of shaded out with some pencil work. And then here, the lake, I guess. The lake water is with museum aquarels, and then some pencil shading as well. And then I love the stickles on it, on the iris. I think those turned out really pretty. And then the cattails and everything. This is, again, the Kiritaki markers. The shading of those markers is so great because they're water-based, so they do a really good job to shade. Don't have to worry about that. I like this double page spread a lot. I think I put this on Instagram. And then this page, the last page to cover today, I think is probably my favorite page. This is the underwater scene. You've seen this a lot. I think a lot of people have done this. So this is, let's see, this is Museum Aquarel watercolor pencils. The Kiritaki, so much glitter and shine. So this is all stickles in different colors to make the underwater scene. And then this is those Carnadachi, those new pastels, and just brought down to be sun rays. I just love that. I thought that turned out really pretty. So that's it. So that's it so far for the year. Looking forward to the rest of the year and what else we're going to color. Thank you again for subscribing. If you don't mind subscribing or liking this video, we love to share what we do in coloring. And if we do carry the supplies, we'll have a link to our shop down below if you'd like to purchase any of the supplies. We do carry those Kiritaki markers, stickles, everything that I use. We try to carry in the store just because they're my favorite, and we curate all of the books as well. So we have the books and my favorite books and my favorite supplies in the store, so we can make it really easy. But anyways, have a wonderful day, and we'll talk soon. Bye.